Has it ever happened to you that you start the day full of plans and promises, but by the end, you feel like all that time just disappeared? In a world full of distractions, staying focused on what truly matters is a monumental challenge. This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers us powerful tools to take control of our time and redirect it toward what truly counts. In this video, you'll discover 10 Stoic rules that will not only help you focus on your goals but also teach you how to stop wasting time. These lessons, practiced by great figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, can transform the way you think and act. But before sharing these rules, I want to tell you a story that perfectly encapsulates this problem. Imagine Javier, an ambitious young man with big goals. He wanted to start his own business, improve his health, and learn a new language. But every day felt like a race against the clock. He woke up early, promising to be productive, but notifications on his phone, emails, and social media mercilessly absorbed him. One afternoon, after realizing he had spent 2 hours watching cat videos and arguing on a forum, he sat at his desk, frustrated. How is it possible that I want so much but accomplish so little? He thought. That night, while browsing the internet for a solution, he stumbled upon an article about Stoicism that began with a quote from Marcus Aurelius: "Do not let others steal your time. For it is the only thing that truly belongs to you." Something clicked in his mind. From that moment, Javier decided to apply Stoic teachings. He learned to identify what truly mattered, to ignore distractions, and to make more conscious decisions. His life began to change, but it wasn't magic. It was discipline and Stoic lessons that helped him break free from chaos. And now, just like Javier, you too can use these rules to transform your life. So, let's get started. 1. Define your purpose with clarity. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is the importance of having a clear purpose. The Stoics understood that you cannot move forward if you don't know where you're going. It's like being on a boat without a defined destination. Even if you keep rowing, you'll never arrive anywhere. This is perfectly expressed by Epictetus, who said, "Decide upon the goal you want to achieve, and dedicate yourself to it." Without a clear purpose, your efforts will scatter, making it easy to lose focus and, over time, lose motivation. Defining your purpose doesn't mean simply saying, "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happy." It's much more specific. You need to identify what you truly want to achieve and why it matters to you. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, instead of just saying, "I want to get fit," ask yourself, "Why do I want to get fit?" Perhaps you want more energy to enjoy life, feel better about yourself, or improve your longevity. The why behind your purpose is what makes it meaningful and gives you the strength to keep going, even when things get tough. The Stoics understood that a clear purpose also helps you make decisions more effectively. If you know what's most important to you, every decision you face becomes simpler. Imagine you're presented with an exciting opportunity that has nothing to do with your goals. If your purpose is clear, you'll immediately know whether to take that opportunity or stay focused on what truly matters. There's no confusion, only action aligned with your purpose. Taking the time to reflect on your purpose and write it down can be a game changer. Keeping it visualized, whether on paper or in your mind, allows you to recall it whenever you face difficult decisions or temptations that could lead you astray. The Stoics believed that having a clear purpose is a powerful tool because it gives you direction, helps you avoid distraction, and most importantly, keeps you focused on what truly matters. Remember, a clear purpose not only guides you in moments of calm but also gives you strength in times of uncertainty. 2. Learn to differentiate what you can control. One of the most powerful principles of Stoicism is understanding the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. In our daily lives, we face an endless number of factors that are beyond our reach. How others treat us, decisions made by companies, or even global circumstances are things outside our control. However, what we can control is our attitude and actions in response to these challenges. Stoics, such as Epictetus, teach us to focus solely on what we can influence. "It's not what happens to you that bothers you, but how you interpret it," said Epictetus. This means that, although we cannot prevent something negative from happening in our lives, we do have the power to choose how we react to it. This distinction is key to maintaining calm and productivity in moments of stress or uncertainty. Imagine you're working on an important project, and suddenly you receive an email from a colleague delaying their part of the work. Your first thoughts might be frustration, anger, or the feeling that everything is falling apart. However, what you can control here is your response. You can choose to stay calm, communicate effectively with your colleague to find a solution, and adjust your work plan to keep moving forward. When you focus on what you can control, you realize that worrying about things beyond your influence only wastes your energy. For instance, you might worry about the weather if you have an important outdoor event, but the only thing you can do is prepare for any eventuality, like having a backup plan or bringing appropriate clothing. On the other hand, if you waste your mental energy lamenting the rain, you'll only lose time and focus. The first step to applying this principle in your life is to make a mental list, or even write down, what is under your control and what is not. Your attitude? Yes. The actions of others? No. The effort you put into each task? Yes. External circumstances that affect you? No. With this clarity, you'll be able to make more effective decisions, reduce stress, and progress toward your goals without being held back by what you cannot change. In summary, learning to differentiate what you can control not only helps you focus on what truly matters but also enables you to stay calm and move forward with greater certainty toward your goals. 3. Divide your goal into small, manageable steps. One of the most powerful lessons Stoicism teaches us is the importance of not overwhelming ourselves with overly large goals. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes burdened when it tries to encompass everything at once." Often, when we have a big goal in mind, such as learning a new language or writing a book, the sheer magnitude of the task can leave us feeling paralyzed. The secret lies in breaking it down into smaller steps, something more manageable and achievable in the short term. Imagine you want to run a marathon. At first, the idea of running 42 kilometers may seem impossible. But if you decide to divide that goal into smaller stages, such as running 5 kilometers a week and gradually increasing the distance, your progress becomes more tangible and less intimidating. This way, your mind can focus on what you can do now without worrying about the long road ahead. Applying this principle to your daily work is key. If your goal is to learn a new skill, like photography, don't immediately aim for becoming a professional photographer. Instead, set intermediate goals, learning the basics of the camera, understanding composition rules, and taking at least 3 photos each week to practice. In this way, you build your skills gradually without feeling overwhelmed by the idea of achieving perfection in a short time. The Stoics understood that progress doesn't happen overnight but is the result of small, repeated actions. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By breaking your goal into smaller steps, you gain control over each of those reactions and the ability to move forward with confidence. Moreover, this strategy allows you to enjoy the process, celebrate each small achievement, and keep your motivation high. Remember, every great change begins with a single step. Don't focus immediately on the final goal but rather on the next step you can take today. 4. Live in the present. The Stoics understood that the only moment we truly have is the present. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest exponents of Stoicism, said, "The past is no longer under our control, and the future is filled with uncertainty. The only thing we have is the present moment, and it is where we must focus." This is a crucial teaching if you want to stop wasting time and start effectively focusing on your goals. The greatest obstacle to living in the present is our tendency to worry about what has already happened or what might occur in the future. Have you ever found yourself dwelling on a past mistake or worrying so much about what might happen tomorrow that you prevent yourself from enjoying or making the most of the present moment? This not only steals your time but also generates unnecessary anxiety and stress. Stoicism teaches you to let go of these worries and focus solely on what you can do now. When you focus on the present, your productivity increases. Instead of thinking about the tasks you need to complete in the coming days, your energy is channeled toward what you can do right now. Instead of being anxious about what's ahead, you concentrate on what you can control at this moment. By doing this, you stop procrastinating and start acting with purpose. A clear example is how high-level athletes train themselves not to be carried away by anxiety about what will happen during a competition. They are completely present, focused on each move, without distractions. Their peak performance always happens in the present. By applying this principle to your daily life, you can significantly improve your focus and efficiency. You will no longer be distracted by future worries or regret what didn't go well in the past. Of course, this doesn't mean you should ignore your long-term plans or past lessons. The difference lies in how you relate to them. The past no longer has power over you if you let it go, and the future doesn't yet exist, so you can enjoy every step you take toward your goals. This gives you peace of mind and allows you to move more effectively toward what you truly want to achieve. Remember, the present is the only place where you can act, and it is in this space that all real change occurs. 5. Prioritize and say no to what doesn't add value. One of the biggest challenges when striving to achieve our goals is the sheer number of distractions around us. Often, we are surrounded by things that seem urgent or important but, in reality, do not contribute to our objectives. This is where the Stoic principle of focusing only on what we can control plays a fundamental role. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This statement invites us to reflect on how often we let what has no value steal the time and energy we could invest in our goals. It is essential to understand that not everything that appears in our daily lives deserves our attention. Learning to prioritize and say no is a crucial skill for staying focused. When we embark on new projects or ventures, there will always be people, activities, or commitments trying to divert our attention. Often, we feel guilty for declining an invitation or not immediately responding to a message or email. However, this is part of staying on track toward our goals. It's important to remember that no is not a negative word, it is liberating. Saying no to something that doesn't contribute to your purpose is, in fact, saying yes to what truly matters. If you don't learn to set boundaries, you'll find yourself trapped in a cycle of unnecessary tasks, external worries, and distractions that pull you away from what you really want to achieve. As Epictetus said, "He who focuses on his goal does not get distracted by what is off his path." I encourage you to practice a daily exercise. Whenever you feel about to commit to something that doesn't directly contribute to your goal, pause and assess its importance. Is this essential for your personal growth? Does it bring you closer to your objectives? If the answer is no, then don't be afraid to say no. Doing so will not only help you maintain focus but also free up space for the things that truly matter. 6. Establish a daily routine. One of the most powerful teachings of Stoicism is the importance of discipline. The Stoics understood that consistency is essential to achieving any goal. In fact, Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, meticulously organized his days, always seeking a balance between work and rest. For him, a daily routine was not a limitation but a tool to achieve inner peace and personal success. When faced with an important goal, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task. However, the key lies in daily action, breaking that large goal into manageable steps. As Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." The best way to avoid wasting time is to create a structure that helps you stay focused and productive every day. Establishing a routine doesn't mean filling your day with endless activities but designing a plan with room for what truly matters. The first step is to identify the key activities that will bring you closer to your goal and then allocate specific times for them during the day. This includes everything, from working on your goals to taking time to rest and recharge. Remember, a routine should be balanced. The Stoics knew that rest is not a luxury but a necessity to maintain performance. Moreover, within that routine, it's important to include moments of reflection and self-evaluation. Marcus Aurelius himself took time at the end of his day to reflect on his actions and behaviors. This allowed him to adjust his approach and constantly improve. You can follow his example by dedicating a few minutes at the end of each day to analyze what you did well and what you can improve. A daily routine also helps you avoid distractions. With so many modern temptations vying for your attention, discipline and planning are crucial to staying focused. If you have a set schedule, it's easier to resist the temptation to procrastinate or waste time on activities that don't help you progress toward your goals. Creating a routine isn't easy, but remember, it's not about perfection but consistency. If you're consistent, even small progress will accumulate over time and bring you closer to your goals. Just as the Stoics saw each day as an opportunity to improve, you too can use each day as a stepping stone toward success. 7. Practice gratitude for progress, not just the final outcome. It's easy to fall into the trap of focusing solely on the final goal. We want to see quick, measurable results, and this often leads us to feel like we've achieved nothing until we reach the end. However, one of the most important principles of Stoicism is learning to value the journey as much as the destination. The Stoics teach us that progress, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. Practicing gratitude for daily progress can be a powerful tool to maintain motivation and mental clarity. Imagine you're working on an important project, like launching a business. The process can be long and full of ups and downs. You might not see immediate results, and that can be frustrating. But if you take a moment each day to acknowledge the effort you've put into moving forward, even by a small step, you'll be cultivating a growth mindset. As Epictetus said, happiness does not depend on what happens around you but on how you face it. Appreciate every day that brings you closer to what you want, because every step counts. For example, if you're writing a book and manage to write just one page in a day, instead of feeling discouraged about how much is still left, celebrate that progress. A single paragraph, a single page, brings you one step closer to your goal. This mindset shift, focusing on the process and small achievements instead of just the final result, will help you stay motivated in the long run. This approach also helps reduce anxiety. Often, we worry so much about immediate results that we forget to enjoy the journey. If you only focus on the when it's done, the process becomes something you simply have to endure. But if you concentrate on the value of what you're doing now, each day becomes meaningful. This allows you to work with greater focus and without the constant pressure of the final result. In summary, by practicing gratitude for progress, you not only appreciate the journey but also remain true to the Stoic philosophy of living in the present and accepting what is within your control. 8. Face adversities with calmness. In life, difficulties are inevitable. Instead of viewing them as obstacles, the Stoics invite us to see them as opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This phrase perfectly reflects the Stoic mindset. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen our character, develop resilience, and learn. When we face a difficulty, our first reaction may be frustration, anger, or despair. It's completely natural to feel this way. However, the Stoics teach us that what truly matters is not the situation itself but how we choose to respond to it. How do we decide to face adversity? If we react impulsively, we may lose mental clarity and make hasty decisions that could worsen the situation. Instead of letting emotions control us, the Stoics suggest taking a moment to reflect. Stop and take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you don't have control over everything that happens, but you do have control over how you react. When facing a challenge, your power lies in your ability to remain calm and composed, even when things don't go as expected. For example, imagine you're working on an important project, and suddenly, an unexpected problem arises. Your computer shuts down without warning, and you lose hours of work. It's normal to feel frustrated. But in that moment, you have two options. You can give in to anger and stress, or you can accept the situation as it is, understand that you can't change what just happened, and calmly look for a solution, the Stoics invite you to adopt the second option. Instead of lamenting what's lost, focus on what you can do from that point forward. Perhaps you need to recover the lost work, or maybe it's time to ask for help. What truly matters is not letting frustration control you. Keep your mind serene and find the best way to act. Remember, you can't avoid adversities from arising, but you can decide how to face them. Calmness and mental clarity will allow you to make wiser and more effective decisions. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. 9. Reflect daily on your actions. One of the most powerful practices the Stoics used to maintain their focus and progress was daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us of the importance of taking a pause at the end of the day to reflect on our actions. For the Stoics, it wasn't just about asking, "What did I do today?" but about carefully observing how we acted, why we acted that way, and whether our decisions brought us closer to or farther from our goals. This constant practice of self-awareness is fundamental for personal growth and continuous improvement. Daily reflection allows you to assess if you've been aligned with your principles and values, and if you've made decisions that bring you closer to your goal. Every day we have opportunities to improve, but often we are so immersed in routine that we don't stop to think if we are directing our energy towards what truly matters. This moment of introspection should not be a destructive criticism but an opportunity to learn from our mistakes and adjust our course. At the end of each day, do a brief review. Ask yourself, what did I do today that brought me closer to my goals? When could I have been more efficient? Was there anything that distracted me or took me off course? It's not about being perfect, but about being honest with yourself. The goal of this reflection is gradual and constant improvement. Over time, you'll begin to notice patterns in your behavior that will help you make wiser and more efficient decisions in the future. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of acceptance. Don't punish yourself for decisions that weren't the best. Instead of lamenting, focus on what you can learn from those experiences. Seneca said, "There is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know where he's going." Reflecting gives you direction, helps you recalculate your course, and ensures you're still working towards your goals with purpose and determination. So, at the end of each day, take a moment to think about what you did well and what you could improve. Make this reflection a daily practice, and you'll see how your focus strengthens, and with it, your progress towards success. 10. Persevere regardless of the circumstances. Perseverance is one of the most important virtues that the Stoics left as a legacy. In the toughest moments, when everything seems to be against you, that's when you need to stay focused and keep moving forward the most. The Stoics knew that life is full of ups and downs, but what truly makes the difference between success and failure is the ability to persist despite difficulties. As Seneca said, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. This is one of the most powerful lessons you can learn. External circumstances, such as failures, criticisms, or even the lack of immediate results, are inevitable. You can't control them, but what you can control is how you react to them. Imagine you're working on an important project. At first, everything seems easy, and things are going well. However, after a while, you face obstacles, motivation decreases, unexpected problems arise, or even some people doubt your ability. This is where perseverance comes into play. Instead of giving up, you have to learn to see those obstacles as part of the process, as opportunities to grow. The Stoics never gave up in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius, for example, faced numerous wars, betrayals, and personal problems throughout his life, but he never let these difficulties demotivate him. In his journal, he wrote, "What happens to you is what you must face, and what you cannot control has no power over you." This thought is key. No matter how hard the circumstances are, you always have control over your attitude and your decision to move forward. Perseverance is also linked to the idea that progress is not always immediate. Results often take time to show, and it's easy to feel discouraged along the way. But, as the Stoics knew, true value lies in constant effort, not in instant gratification. Every small step you take, every day you continue, brings you closer to your goal, even if you don't see immediate results. In conclusion, perseverance is not just about continuing when everything seems difficult, but about maintaining a mindset that allows you to learn from every obstacle and see them as a natural part of your journey. Like the Stoics, understand that what truly matters is your willingness to keep going, regardless of the circumstances. There you have it, 10 Stoic rules that can transform your mindset and help you never waste time again. Apply these teachings in your daily life, and you'll see how not only do you get closer to your goals, but you also find greater peace and purpose along the way.